Welcome back, and thanks for still being there. Now let's move to our next report. There's a bill before the House of Representatives which seeks to create a regulatory commission for non-governmental organizations in the country. It's a bill that is attracting a lot of attention. What sort of attention? Well, let's find out.
Honorable colleagues, the bill seeks, among other things, to establish non-governmental organizations regulatory commission for the proper supervision, monitoring, and coordination of civil society organizations and other community-based organizations in Nigeria.
That is the moment when yet again the spotlight falls on non-governmental organizations in Nigeria. Deputy Majority Leader of the House of Representatives, Honorable Umar Jibril, the sponsor of the NGO Regulation Bill.
We have these civil society organizations, non-governmental organizations operating all over the country, but it surprised members that we don't have a legal framework that regulates the activities of these non-governmental organizations.
The sponsor gets some support from fellow lawmakers.
In as much as the rights, the fundamental rights are fundamental rights, they are peremptory rights, nothing says, there is nothing that suggests that there shouldn't be a regulatory framework to at least manage the way they operate in our political space.
Nigeria is said to have over 40,000 registered non-governmental organizations with millions of dollars in flow in that sector. The bill being proposed and has progressed in the House seeks to create an NGO regulatory commission. The board will have powers to license all NGOs amidst other responsibilities.
These bodies should not be brought under government. Everything must not be government. Government cannot control everything. There should be individual freedom. There should be private sector freedom. That is why I'm rising, Mr. Speaker, to say that this bill should not go through. If this bill goes through, it's going to stifle NGOs. Those who are giving us the funds, who are bringing the funds from abroad, will not even be willing to send money to organizations in Nigeria to use for everything.
The move is already generating a series of reactions across the sector.
Then we have to act in a way that actually shows we are already behaving.
Industry players here believe the bill will do no good to the running of the NGOs in the country.
About 32 or so sections. All of it negates international standards around our work, especially around freedom of assembly and freedom of association.
The size of it financially, it is attractive to government to begin to want to regulate it. There's over $1 billion at play here. When you look at all the different organizations generating resources locally, nationally, and internationally, there's a lot of money at play. And you know that once this is the case, people come there.
The sector players agree there are cases of sharp practices, but here is the way they believe that could be handled.
So we need to strengthen our adherence to the current regulations. We need to make sure that others in our sector don't continue to spoil the name, because there are bad eggs in our sector. There are, we all know that. But you don't, because of the bad eggs, now penalize everybody. Because most CSOs are doing good. They're actually doing what the government should be doing.
The lawmakers will go ahead to debate and work on the bill as the next stage of action is anticipated. But the network of NGOs here are saying one thing.
Nobody should regulate us. We should self-regulate ourselves, and this bill should not stand.
Of course, we will kill this bill. And it is our prayers that this bill will die.
This bill is not the answer. This bill should die. This bill should have died yesterday.
The process of passing the bill into law is progressing, and the voices of the industry players are loud and clear. But how impactful will it be? I guess only time will tell.
Now that question will be answered when lawmakers resume and continue work on that bill. Let's move on. Now, early this week, an Abuja Federal High Court dismissed an application filed by Senator Dino Melaye, representative of the Kogi West Senatorial Constituency, seeking to nullify his recall process. Senator Melaye had approached the court on July the 6th, 2017, ahead of his recall exercise scheduled to begin in July. Now, following that application, the court ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission to halt the recall exercise pending the determination of his application. Now, with this ruling, the Electoral Commission says it's poised to continue with the recall process, as stated in a statement released by the Commission. It says all legal hurdles have now been cleared and the recall process can now proceed as envisaged by the Constitution, the Electoral Act, and the extant INEC guidelines and regulation. Accordingly, and in compliance with the orders of the court, the Commission will release a revised timetable and schedule of activities on Monday, the 18th September 2017. Now, what has been the reaction of the senator to the ruling? Well, his lawyer, Mike Ozekome, was on our program, Politics Today, and this was his reaction.
The court has said, in the spirit of fairness, in the interest of justice, Dino Melaye must be given a copy of the petition and all the attached annexures, accompanying annexures, including the signatories, so as to enable him prepare for the recall. And that until this is done, the recall process itself will not begin. That is why the judge also made an order that a fresh recall timetable with 90 days has to commence afresh. In other words, the earlier one is as dead as dodo. Section 68 of Section 2, what many of them have never looked at, is that in this checks and balances doctrine of separation of power, the executive has done its own by trying to recall Dino. The judiciary has done its own today, which decision will be appealed tomorrow. But the legislature is still watching, is still waiting, because under Section 68 of Section 2, the Constitution provides that when the certificate of recall has been issued by INEC, let us assume INEC finally goes through and the thing says through and the Constitution says we are recalling you and everything succeeds. Section 68, subsection 2 of the Constitution, and not the maker, says the Senate President, or if it is in the House of Representatives, the Speaker of the House, or any member of the floor, we have to give evidence to the satisfaction, listen to the words, to the satisfaction of the Senate that the section on recall has been appropriately carried out.
Well, one thing that has been cleared since that interview is that the recall process will continue and will not commence afresh. That will be made clear on Monday, the 18th, when INEC releases the revised timetable for the recall process. I'm sure you also gathered from that interview that an appeal may be launched by Senator Melaye, where we understand an appeal has been filed in the Abuja Division of the Court of Appeal to set aside the judgment of the Federal High Court, which dismissed the initial suit. Now, what do you make of Section 68, subsection 2, and the interpretation given there by the lawyer that the Parliament will have the final say in this matter? What's your reaction? Do you agree with that? We'd like to hear from you through any of the addresses on the screen. Now, during the week, the Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Ike Ekweremadu, urged the people of the southeastern part of the country to remain calm as talks were ongoing with the presidency and security agencies to end the military siege to the region. His statement is in relation to growing tensions in the region in reaction to the ongoing military exercise Python Dance 2. In the statement, Senator Ekweremadu held that dialogue and inclusion are the best options in resolving the agitation in the region, and he called on the people to remain peaceful and law-abiding. Now, I'm sure you're aware that the National Assembly will not be resuming on Tuesday, the 19th of September, as they had earlier planned. Yes, the Parliament will now resume on the 26th of September. No reason has been given for the shift. But but we will be monitoring all that will be happening and bringing it to you right here on the Gavel. Well, I'd like to say thanks for staying with me through the program. I'm Lanre Lasese. Take care.